I think the days are still fresh in our minds when the education system was churning out lawyers at the speed of light. Hardly anyone wanted to work on the factory floor. Now, things are different. The country is developing, and specialists are as vital as oxygen. Companies are ready to offer decent salaries. So, we are about to tell you exactly how these specialists are trained. Here is the first story. Kirovsk, Murmansk Oblast, Leningradsky Street. Practice, and once again, practice, to make the training process as close as possible to actual production, so the specialist can work without issues after training. A prime example, operating on a grand scale, can be found in Kirovsk. A unique underground training facility is being created here. It's the real deal here, actual machinery and equipment. So, who is behind this project and what impact is expected? You're about to find out. A company with several plants produces environmentally friendly mineral fertilizers, and this process is high-tech. In 10 years, we have invested over $500 billion in the development of our production facilities, $300 billion of which was in the last 3 years. Every year, we invest up to half of our EBITDA in developing production and creating new capacities. And in practically 10 years, the company has doubled its volumes of both mining and mineral fertilizer production and expanded its product range. We add 4 to 6% to our production volumes annually. This gives us confidence that by the end of the year, we will surpass 12.5 million tons of agrochemical products. These are mineral fertilizers and related products, and this will be a company record. High degrees of automation, for instance, remote drilling rigs, the adoption of Russian digital solutions, and the creation of new product lines. Everything demands a skilled workforce, and preparing that workforce starts long before admission to university. Our educational program begins with the Drozd project, which stands for Education, Health, and Spirituality for the Children of Russia. Kids start participating in this program at preschool age. Then, they smoothly transition to FOSS-Agro schools and our specialized partner colleges. For example, the Chemical Technology College in Cherepovets and the Mining College in Kirovsk. And, of course, there is the work on teacher training and equipment modernization. These are joint efforts between business and the government. So, after the 9th grade, boys and girls head to college, where they learn a trade using state-of-the-art equipment, guided by highly professional mentors. They start working right away and continue their studies via correspondence or evening classes if they need a higher education degree. This allows us to staff these enterprises and projects with qualified professionals who grew up right here. Higher education is also an area of collaboration. Specifically, an ambitious project is being implemented with Murmansk Arctic University, the Advanced School of Mining Engineering. The underground facility is a vital part of it. On this foundation, a unique school is being created, which, in turn, will send about 500 students. A year for training, a significant number. When the training site launches next year, the result will be a unique fusion of the academic knowledge from the Kola Science Center of the Russian Academy of Sciences and the hands-on experience of mining professionals. There is no such practice, no such synergy anywhere else in the country. We will likely be the pilot project, the first flagship example of its kind. In our view, this will undoubtedly give the university a competitive edge. And today, we are already seeing the trends for the 2025-2026 admissions cycle. Oh, it's moving. I think that if I had done that in reality, I would have been fired right away, right? Probably yes. And it is on modern simulators like this one that operators learn to handle the so-called LHD. This machine halls are underground. Using modern equipment, students master the intricacies of 14 different professions. When we first joined the FOSS-Agro workforce program, we had 420 students. Now, this year, there are already more than 850. And every year, both the entry score and the average GPA of our applicants increase. There are more than 5 applicants for every spot. Students come from all over the country to study here. The prospects of studying mineral processing. You can combine work and school. Plus, there are scholarships. I enrolled at the Apatite branch of MASU to get my degree, and afterwards, I want to work as a mine surveyor. And here is the result of the combination of practice and study. As the State Examination Commission noted this year, 97% of our graduates received good or excellent grades, and most of their projects were recommended for industrial implementation. This is Moscow, a laboratory at the country's flagship agricultural university, the Timorayev Academy. Is it correct to say that when developing new fertilizers, companies rely on your research? I think that is fair to say because we are currently running a trial with the Apicil adaptogen, which is already widely known to our farmers. With the company's support, specialized labs were set up at 47 agricultural universities. The program is called From Ore to Food. There is a separate segment of this program called the FOSAGRO Lectorium. In most Russian agricultural universities, we provide students with access to scientific lecture materials written by professionals. I'd like to note that this program is in demand internationally within BRICS. With the company's funding, the Timorayev Center was also established on campus. It is known here as a gateway to agricultural careers. We allocated 20 hectares of land, and they invested 5 billion rubles. The result is a state-of-the-art exhibition, science, and education center, unmatched by any other university in the Russian Federation today. After all, this agro-lectorium and City of Agricultural Careers have gone nationwide. Today, 23 regions of the Russian Federation are already part of this project. The bottom line? A career in agriculture is promising once again. We have a 100% employment rate. We don't have a single slacker or loafer here. Not one. These Timorayev students have become truly wonderful. I am proud of them. A third of the fertilizer producers' employees are under 35. It is up to them to develop new products, boost production, and expand our reach. Today, we supply up to 3 million tons per year to the Russian market. It is often said that 1 in every 3 tons of mineral fertilizer applied to Russian fields is produced by FOSAGRO. Furthermore, exports go to over 100 countries. Brazil, India, Latin America, and Africa are buying more and more. During a working meeting, Federation Council Speaker Valentina Matvienko and REC head Veronika Nikishina discussed expansion into new markets and the company's contribution to the Russian economy. Our businesses are very talented at finding solutions, breaking into new markets, and forging new logistics chains. Fortunately, the economic and financial situation remains stable to compete in highly competitive export markets. We must constantly improve quality, reduce costs, and boost productivity. This benefits not only foreign buyers, but also domestic clients and the Russian economy. It is a key source of revenue for our budget. Next, let's look at job creation from a slightly different angle. Moscow, Ilinka Street. New jobs don't just come from growing companies. Developing infrastructure also has a major economic impact. We'll learn more about this at Transport Week in Moscow. It is also a forum with about 40 events. It is an exhibition where you can see achievements in the field of transportation, logistics, and infrastructure construction. And there are plenty of examples. For instance, in July, the president opened traffic on a key new section of the M12 Vostok highway, Daryulia Kit. Vladimir Vladimirovich, allow me to open the traffic. Permission granted. Let's go. And now at the forum, on the day of the transportation worker, the chairman of the government opened a key road in the DNR. Donetsk-Novozovsk-Sadovo. The active construction here, literally led by the president, and currently unfolding in our new regions, is simply amazing in its magnitude. With the help of state company Avtodor, over 2,000 kilometers of roads have been restored in our historical regions of Novorossiya. To be exact, that is 2,326 kilometers. Russia is actively building roads, including high-speed highways, under the Infrastructure for Life national project. Deputy Prime Minister Marat Kusnulin even suggested that this year, the repair and construction target could be exceeded by 4,000 kilometers. By the way, an experiment has proven the efficiency of high-speed routes like west-east. The idea was to transport cargo from St. Petersburg to Ekaterinburg, using different routes. There is a northern route from St. Petersburg to Ekaterinburg. There was also a route on free sections of the M10 and M7, also to Ekaterinburg. One route went via the M10 and M5 highways to Ekaterinburg. And we also tested high-speed toll roads. On the high-speed highway, it was twice as fast, and time is money. So, for a logistics company, paying the toll proved cheaper than burning fuel in traffic jams on a free road. It means less wear and tear on the fleet and higher productivity per vehicle. Speaking of efficiency, a self-driving truck also traveled the same route. Similar experiments are underway on other highways too. And at Transport Week, a concept for hubs servicing unmanned heavy trucks was presented. This could have even greater effects for the logistics sector and increase the efficiency of freight transportation on the high-speed highways. This is where we come to the issue of human resources. A robot driver who doesn't know fatigue can work long hauls. Human drivers will be more willing to join the profession, with better working conditions closer to home. This is in the future. But what can improve the lives of long-haul truckers right now? Well, convenient showers. Service. It's not like being out there on the highway. There is basically nowhere for a trucker to park. If you stop, you're already blocking traffic. But here, you arrive and you can sleep, eat, do whatever you want. Well, cars have their own parking, and for trucks, it's very convenient here. The drivers are talking about the new multifunctional road service zones that are actively appearing on high-speed highways. We have already opened over 14 road service facilities. All of these facilities necessarily include infrastructure for children, children's playgrounds, and fitness equipment for drivers to stretch their legs when traveling long distances. It also means quality food as well. Of course, the whole service is not just for truck drivers. It's for all drivers and tourists. Everything here is convenient and functional. You can eat, rest, and I even noticed a massage chair. Basically, it has everything for families with children. In the summer, large families were given a discount on tolls. Again, kids are distracted and parents can eat. You can stay overnight, too. For example, on the M12 this year, the first hotel opened and actively started welcoming guests. This network of civilized travel, featuring everything from a game room to LNG stations, is set to be expanded. Next year we have more than 20 facilities planned for opening. In fact, in the last 4 years, we have made a very serious breakthrough. We have opened almost 50 such facilities together with our partners. And here again, we are talking about the personnel issue. Each such road service facility creates, on average, about 30 jobs. Infrastructure development means contributions to the budget. In the 5-year outlook, we project up to 6 or 7 billion in direct revenue solely from roadside service facilities, excluding the tourism flowing into the regions. For instance, the area served by the M12 Vostok route up to Tyumen includes 24 regions and 66 million people. The benefit from developing this infrastructure is huge. All these regions will increase their investment potential and business activity, enabling the complex development of territories, launching new production facilities, and creating high-paying jobs. The president tasked us with fully completing this highway from St. Petersburg to Vladivostok. No one in the world has ever realized a single highway project, spanning 12,000 kilometers. So, we believe we are fulfilling a critical mission here, one that supports both regional development and our international corridors. The expansion of international corridors and the creation of new ones is paying off. In particular, the trade turnover with China is growing. New stores under the Made in Russia brand. In Harbin, it is already the 12th. Moreover, small and medium-sized businesses are supplying more and more goods. For instance, based on this year's results, the share of SME exporters in total non-commodity exports is 34%. 4 years ago, that share was 22%. This shows that despite all the challenges and attempts to isolate us, not only are those attempts failing, but more and more companies are starting to see exports as an opportunity to scale up their production. Equally important is the growth of industrial exports, up 6% year-on-year and 9% ahead of target. This confirms that production volumes are definitely continuing to rise. Undoubtedly, significant work is underway within the national technological leadership projects to manufacture new types of products, and the expansion of production requires more people, and they are often needed in remote areas like Kamchatka Krai. Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky. At the Kumrock deposit in Kamchatka, they are building a mining and processing complex to produce up to 4 tons of gold a year. Of course, they need professional staff, which, as you know, is worth its weight in gold. There is no other way. We need to train them. In 2 years, I learned to drive an excavator, a bulldozer, and a motor grader. The guys don't need to worry. They've got plenty of work. Whether it's a crane operator, a vehicle repair specialist, or a welder. At the technical college, under the Professionalate project, the training, so to speak, doesn't go to waste. Starting in 2024, we began training students in a new specialty, underground mining of mineral deposits. But we didn't stop there, because our industrial partner requires specific personnel capable of executing their commercial projects. So, this year, for the first time in the Kamchatka region, a new specialty was launched at the partner's request: mineral processing. Kamchatka Krai is rich in resources. For example, reserves of the precious metal are currently estimated at 1,200 tons. But that's just for now. 10 deposits and 22 promising sites have been explored, including Kumrock, where a plant is being built. The proven reserves of gold allow us to create new jobs, more than 1,000 jobs for the residents of Kamchatka and Russia as a whole. And the scheduled launch of the mining and processing plant is set for the 3rd quarter of 2026. Another company, ranked among the country's largest mining firms, is actively ramping up production. In the last 2 years, we've modernized the Ajinsky gold processing plant, more than doubling its capacity from 150 to 300,000 tons of ore per year. Also, the company plans to upgrade this plant to process up to 400,000 tons of ore per year by the end of 2026. And everyone is not just looking for personnel, but is involved in their training. The company initiated an agreement between Kamchatka State Technical University and the Association of Mining Industrialists of Kamchatka, aimed at training personnel for the mining sector. We have created a cluster. It is an educational and production center for training the workforce for the mining industry. We have 4 technical colleges, with the Kamchatka Polytechnic College serving as the lead institution. This is how the law on targeted education works in practice. There are many fields, such as medicine, where employers are ready to help train students, provide social guarantees, and sign a contract. Graduates choose for themselves where they want to work, either in their home region or building a career in another. Therefore, the main priority today is to raise awareness regarding targeted recruitment The goal is for the apply to university online and work in Russia platforms to become true navigators and assistants for both employers and graduates, thereby aligning their mutual interests. This will provide a stimulus for economic development and, of course, create entirely new, high-quality opportunities for the self-realization of young people. The program is expanding. There is an additional request from the Ministry of Agriculture, which is actively creating agricultural classes, thanks to support at the federal level. Thanks to a law that was passed, initiated by our Deputy Irina Anatolyevna Yerovaya, the targeted recruitment program has been expanded. And this year, the fishing industry is actively participating in it. More than 100 places have been announced for the first time. Transportation, helicopters, ship navigation, and related spheres, agriculture, and a number of other in-demand industries. Therefore, targeted recruitment is, perhaps, the main line of personnel attraction. And I can say that, in general, Kamchatka is creating new jobs. In particular, the Timlitsky fish processing plant needs specialists. It is expanding the production of omega-3. Moreover, the dietary supplement is distributed free of charge to the peninsula's children, as well as to low-income families, nursing homes, and veterans. These social programs are funded, in part, by export revenues. The company is now entering the markets of China and Muslim countries, where it can count on support from the Russian Export Center. This, in turn, drives economic growth and supports the social obligations that the government fulfills for the population. While revenues from non-commodity exports account for 7% of the federal budget, they make up 8% of the consolidated revenues of the regions. Support measures include certification, participation in trade shows, reimbursement of logistics costs, and, once again, training for export specialists. And, returning to the topic of workforce training, the experience of the Arkhangelsk region is particularly interesting. There's a shortage of personnel in probably most enterprises. But it is important to train not just any specialists, but those with high qualifications. This is a difficult task, and we will see how it is being solved. In particular, in Arkhangelsk, at the IT Park. The IT Park was created by the Northern Arctic Federal University. Additional free education on modern equipment. We have greater capabilities now thanks to our laboratory complex. For university students, school children, and professionals alike. So, it's not just about theory anymore, but actual practice. You can start mastering science here as early as the first grade. In just an hour or two, they can learn to develop their own mobile app, or make a little keychain on a 3D printer. And for high school students, there are all kinds of opportunities to prove themselves. They are already creating their own, let's say, startups, or their own future companies. We get quite a lot of support from various foundations and grants. Take Artem and his student team's project. A conveyor belt system designed to sort fish by species and weight. They received a grant. We are grant recipients from the Innovation Promotion Fund. The Regional Development Agency assisted us in this. The instructors are passionate, too. For instance, under Roman's guidance, the students are building satellites. We collaborate with our partner, the company Sputniks. They are creating a unified system that displays all users in a user-friendly format. This means that port operators and ship owners, for instance, can track their vessels in real time and manage their overall logistics along the Northern Sea route. Speaking of sailing the seas, there's a blizzard sweeping the sea. Yes, it's not too heavy yet, so visibility is still pretty good. They train navigators on a modern simulator, using software that is written right here on site. The number of cadets is growing. This year, not counting the distance learning students, 29 cadets are graduating. And that's just from the navigation department. The main thing is that there are enough ships to go around, as they say. That's for sure. Meanwhile, potential employers are keeping a close eye on the progress of these cadets and students. And they help the students actually bring the ideas they've come up with to life. to give students even more opportunities. The Arctic Star Inter-University campus is set to open in 2027. It's not just a serious step. I believe this will completely reshape the entire architecture of higher education and science. And essentially, we are already preparing labs today to meet the needs of our scientists. What I believe absolutely has to happen is that we ensure this connection between science, industry, and the economy. Because any scientific invention, or most of them, anyway, shouldn't just end up as pure science, so it doesn't remain unused. Of course, this is exactly what the stories we've shared, and many others, are all about. It represents the joint effort of the state and business to ensure that education isn't just for show or left to gather dust. When young people feel confident in their own prospects, it translates into a shared confidence in the successful development of the country.